Joc Pederson has officially found a brand new home. The Rangers might have picked up a brand new closing pitcher. And speaking of the Rangers, they just made a trade with the Braves that we do have to talk about real quick. Now, before we get into all of the bigger news, I do want to make a small correction. Yesterday, I said that Trey Mancini was going to the White Sox. I lied to all of you. He's going to the Marlins on a minor league deal. I have no idea how I got that wrong. I'm sorry. So like I mentioned in the intro, the Rangers and the Braves, they did in fact make a trade. And the guy that the Braves got in return for a right-handed pitcher looks pretty good. And when I say looks pretty good, I mean his minor league stats. He didn't look very good in the majors. The Rangers are getting a 23-year-old right-handed pitcher by the name of Tyler Owens in exchange for JP Martinez. We'll talk about him in just a second because he's going to the Braves. Tyler Owens is 5'10". Last year in the minor leagues between single A and double A, he had a 3.03 ERA and a 9.2 strikeouts per nine. The Braves picked up the 88th overall prospect from 2019. So JP Martinez, he has been in baseball for quite some time. In 2023, in his small cup of coffee in the big leagues and 40 at-bats, he had 1 home run, 0 stolen bases, and a 55 OPS plus. So you're probably thinking, Fuzzy, why did you call him decent? He stinks. Well, if we take a look at what he did last year in AAA for Texas, in 77 games, JP Martinez, he smoked 21 doubles, 14 home runs, and this is the crazy part. He had 38 stolen bases while hitting 298. Those are some crazy numbers, but I do want to make sure you guys know he plays in the Pacific Coast League, and that's where the ball absolutely flies. So his cartoon video game numbers, they haven't been able to translate because he might be playing at a cheat code minor league ballpark, and that's about it. According to Fangraphs, JP Martinez isn't even expected to make the squad in 2024. They still have Jared Kelenic in the outfield along with Michael Harris as well as Ronald Acuna Jr. On the bench, they have Forrest Wall. So for me, it's going to be a race between Jordan Luplow, JP Martinez, and Forrest Wall. 3 guys you've definitely spent a lot of time thinking of over the last few weeks and months because those guys are very popular. So that's the trade in a nutshell. And the reason why the Rangers had to move off of JP Martinez is because they had to make room for David Robertson. Is he going to be their brand new closer in 2024? I don't think that he should be. I feel like Jose Leclerc earned it in the playoffs. He's a very expensive setup piece that they could trade at the deadline. Now, to David Robertson's credit, he was very good before being traded to the Miami Marlins. In 40 games as a member of the Mets, David Robertson had a 2 ERA with 14 saves and a 9.8 strikeouts per nine. When he went to the Marlins, the strikeouts went up. It went from a 9.8 to a 12.7, but he could not find the zone. The walks per nine doubled, and he went from a 2 ERA to a 5 ERA. He was actually removed from the closer's role, and thank goodness for Tanner Scott. He came in. He essentially saved the season for the Marlins. They were kind of staying up there because Tanner Scott was absolutely disgusting. David Robertson, he's almost 39 years old. I don't have a ton of faith in the guy, especially after what I saw from him with Miami. So you guys have to let me know. Do you think that Jose Leclerc is going to be the closer? Do you think that someone like Josh Sabors, who was really good in the playoffs as well, who is going to be the closer for the Rangers going forward? Joc Pederson going to the Diamondbacks, to me, is a match made in heaven, despite the fact that if you look deep into Joc Pederson's stats, he actually doesn't hit very well in Arizona, but that's a different story for a different day. I think this is a great signing. Joc Pederson had 15 home runs and a 111 OPS plus in 2023 for the Giants. Now, the thing you have to remember about Joc Pederson, he's not very good against lefties. He was only allowed 43 at-bats versus lefties last year. He had 2 extra base hits while hitting 186. He had a 68 OPS plus versus lefties. So to me, Joc Pederson, he's going to be a platoon guy in Arizona, and that just makes sense. So Joc Pederson is getting 1 year, $9.5 million to be the projected 4-hitter for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now remember, he is the projected 4-hitter against righties, or maybe they just say, F it, Joc, you can have all of the at-bats. I don't really know exactly how that's going to work, but the Diamondbacks, they've had a fantastic offseason. I'm not going to lie. So they picked up Joc Pederson, like we just mentioned. They picked up a brand new third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. They also got Erod in that rotation. So to me, if you had to ask for a grade for the 2023-2024 Arizona Diamondbacks offseason, I'm giving them an A. Maybe even an A+. Listen, I'm not saying that the Diamondbacks are going to be my favorites over the Phillies, the Braves, or the Dodgers, but after seeing what we saw from them last year they made that surprise run all the way to the World Series, and now they could potentially get even better if Jordan Lawlar is even 80% of what we think he can be. And that's no disrespect to Geraldo Perdomo, but the ceilings, they are vastly different. I think that Perdomo is good, but Jordan Lawlar, he can be special. Now, one player I do not want to forget to mention, Jake McCarthy. Has he become expendable? Last year, he had a 77 OPS plus, but to me, I see a 320 on base percentage and 26 stolen bases. The only problem is there's not really any room for him to have consistent playing time, and that hurts a guy like Jake McCarthy. The reason why I bring up Jake McCarthy is because this kid is essentially Corbin Carroll in the minors. In 131 AAA games, Jake McCarthy has 23 home runs, 38 stolen bases, while hitting 327 and a 960 OPS. Now, again, you do have to remind yourselves, he also plays in the PCL, just like we talked about with that other dude, JP Martinez. So the ball flies, the pitchers aren't as good. So yeah, he's going to put up monster stats. But we talked about Josh Lowe for the Rays putting up monster stats for the Tampa Bay Rays. He got called up. He was really good. So I like guys that have the talent. They've put up the stats, even if it's in AAA and the stats might be boosted up by the thin air of the Pacific Coast League. I like Jake McCarthy, and maybe he gets another chance elsewhere. So that does it for today's recap, and I'm going to play a new game today. A lot of you guys want me to play something called MLB Pickles, so you have to try and guess the mystery player. I'm going to go with Jose Ramirez as my first pick. So we go Jose Ramirez. So I've never played this before, so what does orange mean? Orange indicates the player plays either in the league or the division zone. So it is a right-handed someone that plays in the AL. It's not the AL Central because I think that would be in green. So a right-handed, maybe it's a pitcher. I'm going to go with Dylan Cease also. So the age is a factor as well. So we have a right-handed 28-year-old starting pitcher. So I got those three, or I got a lot right at the end. So I have to figure out which division in the AL does this person play for, but it's a 28-year-old right-handed starting pitcher. It's not the Central because that's an orange, so it's another one. Maybe if I go Nestor Cortez, I'm going to go Nestor Cortez. Nope, that's stupid because he's a left-handed thrower and he's 29. That was a waste of a guess. Kyle Bradish. Is Kyle Bradish 28? I'm going to go Kyle Bradish. Let's see if he's 28 years old. Kyle Bradish. Kyle Bradish is 27. I'm just going to click Kyle Bradish just to see. That actually didn't do anything. Why? That's another waste of a pick. What am I doing? How old is Tanner Houck? I'm going to go Tanner Houck. Let's just see if the Boston Red Sox are the team. So it's not the Boston Red Sox. That means it's between the Rays and the... Who else? The Jays. Yeah. What about Drew Rasmussen? How old is Drew? It's got to be Drew Rasmussen. Is it him? We got it. Wait. Is there not like a fireworks or anything where it says you got it right? Is it Drew Rasmussen? I've never played this before, so I don't know if I just won. Maybe it's... Did I get it right? Is that the guy? Okay. There's some confetti. It was Aaron Savali, not Rasmussen. There we go.